Okay, from the National Weather Service in Raleigh, Nick Petro with your routine Thursday weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. April 15 through the 21st is the period we're covering here. And looking at the weather pattern, the values you see here, that's a lot of clouds over our area, but that's all associated with a cold front moving through. Look at the temperatures basically east of I-95, you're in the low 70s, west of I-95, you're in the 60s. But look at these dew point transition. Oftentimes we use dew point as a way to visualize where the front is. Very, very sharp transition line, and I'll highlight over there, right there. You can see that boundary line. So, gosh, the dew points really show the air mass change, and you can see it's drying out and the air sinking, and sunshine is coming out here in the mid-Mississippi Valley and the Tennessee Valley versus, along and east of the boundary. You can see where there's still showers and thunderstorms over the deep south, northern Gulf, and there's maybe a few spotty showers right along the boundary. In fact, the boundary, given the fact that it is crossing our area as we speak, the cold front is moving through over top of central North Carolina right now. And as I zoom in, you can see there are a few spotty showers, but given the fact that the better, more robust and buoyant air masses to our south, it looks like the best chance for showers and thunderstorms has already occurred yesterday evening with ahead of the front. And here's a better look at the radar, and you can see these few sprinkles here are aligned right with the actual front. So you can see basically the front is right at US 1. This is a cold front, that is. So anyway, so for the rest of this afternoon, the radar pretty much tells a story. There'll be a few very light passing showers, not a whole lot of rainfall to be expected with these passing showers. And once that boundary passes east of the triangle and I-95, then we're going to probably hold in the 60s there the rest of the day, and maybe by later this afternoon, maybe we see a peak of sunshine. But anyway, today shouldn't be like yesterday. Yesterday meaning the storms we experienced and so forth. All right. So looking at the weather pattern, whoops, I went too far there. Looking at the weather pattern, that boundary is pushing through, and we're going to have high pressure over the area to start for Friday, that is, and to start Saturday. But there is going to be a little bit of light rain trying to move up and over the boundary on Saturday. I don't think it's going to amount to a whole lot. It doesn't look like a thunderstorm maker there late Saturday, if we get any rain at all. And then early next week, we have high pressure start off the week, and then another weak front tries to slip through, and while low pressure moves up along the coast. So that will provide better chances for rain at the coast, not so much inland here across central North Carolina. So kind of, summarizing it all, we'll have a few passing showers that I already pointed out on radar early this afternoon. And then we're talking dry weather from later today through Saturday afternoon. And then we'll have sunny weather tomorrow for the 10-year anniversary of the April 16, 2011 tornado outbreak. So that's good news. Look for a few passing showers late on Saturday. That won't amount to a whole lot. So if you've got plans for Saturday, don't worry. It shouldn't be a rain out by any stretch. And then mainly dry the rest of the period after that. If we do have rain chances in the forecast for Sunday through Wednesday, those chances are 20% or less through the middle of next week. In fact, most of that time should stay dry. All right. So all in all, really low impact 7-day forecast here when you think about it in mid-April. I mean, consider ourselves lucky, because we are really at the tip of the peak of the severe weather season right here in mid-April. So, consider ourselves lucky. Look at that accumulated precip forecast. Really today, other than those few passing showers, dry Friday. Saturday, mostly dry. If you do see any rain, it'll be like a trace to 1/10 of an inch, and that being the case on Sunday as well. Middle of next week, still more on the dry side. It looks like the heaviest rain stays to our south. So very little, if any, rain through the next 7 days. No flash flood risk. And look at this, from the Storm Prediction Center. The thunderstorm and severe weather threat remains to our south. So that's good news. And let's see, 8 to 14 day outlook for late next week into the weekend. Below normal temperatures, above normal precip. I don't know. We'll see about that. I haven't honestly put a whole lot of look into that, late next week period. So I don't know. I can't really at this moment provide a whole lot of details. I'd take this with a grain of salt anyway. This time of year, it flips back and forth all the time. All right, so this wraps up the briefing here for the summary. A few passing showers early this afternoon, as I pointed out on radar. Then dry weather later today through Saturday afternoon. Sunny weather tomorrow for the 10-year anniversary of April 16, 2011 tornado outbreak. A few passing showers late Saturday. Most of the time, most of the places will stay dry, though. And then mainly dry the rest of the forecast period. If you do see rain in the forecast, it'll be 20% or less. Look at the hazards and impacts. None. So you don't see that too often, particularly in April. So consider ourselves lucky. Let me just show you one thing here before we disconnect. And tomorrow is obviously the big deal, is the tornado outbreak that occurred 10 years ago here across central North Carolina. So if you want to read more about this, go to weather.gov/Raleigh. And then right here on the second news see the news headlines right there at the top? The second one down is a story map that talks about the April 16 tornado outbreak. And we have about 4 or 5 people in our office that collaborated on this and put together a really nice review. There's some radar loops for the whole event. Look how the line broke apart and then, turned into discrete supercells that produced all the tornadoes. More of a GIS based map there, a table there with some statistics and max winds and fatalities, the meteorological pattern. If you want to learn about how the weather patterns set up for that event, and the fact that there was a strong jet stream and a strong 850 jet and lots of moisture, a warm front. We always talk about these boundaries that serve as the focus for severe storms in rotation. That warm front really set the stage, and we have a nice write-up about that as well. And the fact that we were in a high risk, that's incredibly rare. It was just a neat overview. Here's the radar data here. And this is kind of neat too. You can actually use this slider to go back and forth between the velocity and reflectivity. So anyway, give that a look whenever you get a chance, if you'd like. And again, especially with the fact that tomorrow is the 10-year anniversary. Just another reminder that, we are in the peak of the severe weather season. Take an opportunity tomorrow during the nice weather to review your severe weather plans and make sure you're all set for whenever the next severe weather event will be across the Carolinas. All right, so that wraps up our weekly briefing for this Thursday, the 15th of April, 2021.